Hello, welcome everyone. This is just going to be a quick video update on, of course, our performance for the algo strategies some of you guys have been looking for. Before we get started, please take a quick moment to read the risk disclosure statement and just remember that past performance is not indicative of future results. All right. So here's our person algo optimizer. This is our main VXX page. When people have the person's indicator package, number one, we get the everything included with the radar screen and signals, of course. But with that said, what the algo optimizer does is allow individuals to custom tailor a trading program and manage and maintain their systems. And why would we do that? Well, real simple. There's a concept called average true range, and if we get into a time period like we are currently right now, and we take a look at the E-mini S&Ps real quick, you'll notice that we have an average true range, meaning 19 points. 19.59 is the average true range over the last few days that we look at. And if you take a look at a chart with the S&Ps, the E-mini S&Ps, the funny thing is way back here in October, you can barely see the ranges. They were so small, we were like sub 7 handle ranges, and then out of nowhere we'd get one day or get about like 15. Back in 2015, when the S&P 500 was trading, I'll have to bring it into scale, somewhere around 2,000, right? We had an average true range. The worst part of the year was during the summer, and we had an ATR of 20 points in the S&P futures. So even at the worst of times in 2015, we're not at the best of times for 2018 right yet. So with that said, what is going on with our markets and what is going on with the performance? Well, we've been posting a couple things about the mini Dow 5-minute. And again, this is a strategy that just basically trades from 3:40 to 2:30 in the afternoon, and it does not exit at the end of the day. Now, if you'll notice here, it says Section 3, Section 2, and Section 1, and we have all different types of sections that allow our clients to take this and maintain the structure of a system. So let's take a look at this 5-minute briefly for the year-to-date performance. So if we take a look at a performance graph, this is the performance of the 5-minute mini Dow contract. Now this trades 2 contracts only. So if you think about it, the performance summary of this strategy requires a margin requirement to hold a position overnight. Now what does overnight mean? It means that from 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to 6 p.m., the Globex terminals, or CME, shuts down. So with that said, you have risk exposure from 5 to 6 p.m. This system will not take a new trade after 2:30 in the afternoon, but will hold the position if it was in a trade and hold that into the night session. And you can program, of course, and optimize for the max holding period and profit and trailing stops, and all of that is explained for our purchasers. Now, with that said, this is the performance, and as you can see, this year, in this year, it's obviously, if we take a look at periodic returns, you can see it's only traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't even trade on Martin Luther King Day. So as you can see, we've got that Sunday night, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trading days, and the system is up approximately, as you can see, and I'll share that with you, 330%. So again, it's subjective of how you utilize this information. The bottom line is simply this: the system is designed to take trades, and yes, there will be a fluctuation between its peak equity, but it has a very subtle drawdown. It trades 2 contracts, so you need full margin requirement for each contract. So there's the performance on the 5-minute mini Dow, and its current position right now is, and may be hard to see through this, but it is currently long 2 contracts, and it has a new open trade equity right now, and we'll get back and revisit that in just a minute. All right, so other inquiries were what to do with the VXX. This is a system that we give the actual settings out to our clients when they purchase the person algo optimizer. Since its inception, that's the performance, the equity curve, the performance summary, and of course the full details can be found throughout this video. So just hit pause and you can kind of go through and look at the performance and, again, the return on account. It's pretty outstanding. So drawdown factor, max drawdown factor, not too bad based on a $100,000 notional equity account. So this is the performance of the VXX. We also added a feature on the GBTC that folks could use, and this is just a, obviously, as you can see down below, this is not an indicator. Many people were a little bit confused. This is the strategy equity. So green is closed and the fuchsia is an open trade equity. This is not an indicator here. This is just the strategy equity on this particular product, which is the GBTC. So this has helped people to maybe get a feel for trading Bitcoin, whether you're trading the CBOE futures now, whether you're trading the CME futures. This is a Bitcoin trading demonstration on the indicator and the optimizer's performance on probably, I think, one of the more dynamic products that's come along the pike. And so it's done quite a nice job so far year to date and through last year. Next, this is crude oil, and something that we're launched with a for my particular settings, and I will share. This is from a year-to-date perspective, starting from, as you notice the year, the date up here, I'll bring it in from the 2nd of 2017, January. So this goes through a whole year. Here's the performance graph, if we can expand up on this for you, and you can clearly see we're at new equity highs, and this is the performance chart on trading the crude oil contract in the futures. Now, performance summary, once again, does a pretty decent job, and as you can see, it doesn't have winners every single time, but look at what we are doing. That's based on 2 contracts and only 2 contracts. So this is a pretty decent rate of return on this particular program, and it's of course performance summary. So drawdown factor, not a bad feature right there. I think everyone can kind of live through that type of a drawdown, and yet for just trading 2 contracts, and again, so if you're trading 2 contracts of the Dow, 2 contracts of the crude oil, 2 contracts, so you're spreading your wealth a little bit and getting more of a diversified program or exposure to the marketplace. So this is the 60-minute crude oil, and those settings are available on the website once in the instructional videos. So here's gold, and gold's had a pretty dynamic year. This is, again, a 15-minute chart on gold, and it's had a little bit of choppiness over this period. And again, this is just year-to-date of 2018. So let's take a look at the periodic returns here, and then we'll change this up to a day-to-day basis. And you can clearly see that yesterday and today, not so great, but year-to-date, it's very, very profitable. So we're having a good rate of return. As you can see, it's giving back some profits right now on gold, but this is the gold, the 15-minute model on gold. So basically, I wanted to go through what the we've done with the mini Dow, the S&Ps, looking at gold, crude oil. We also have a function using Amazon, which has done quite well. In fact, Amazon, as you can see, has just entered a short position. It was long. I think the last time we did a video, I shared the fact that the Amazon swing trade model, which is what this is used for, long exited on a trailing stop feature, and now it is short, or went short yesterday, and it had trailed out of the position. So with that said, it's taken some nice trend movements in Amazon. This is Apple. We've discussed this in our trading room. Apple continues to be maintaining a long position, and I would imagine we're going to see some kind of change if it starts to reverse off of that white line in the sand, which is support. So close underneath that white line in the sand might initiate an exit strategy, and we're waiting for that. This is a daily chart, so this would be an end of day trade. And there might be some confusion. I want to clear this up. The Algo optimizer is not about selling the general public a trade system. It's about a way of creating these algorithmic functions that allow an individual to build their own system when we just give out basic settings that people can build upon. So one individual might not like to trade futures, but wants to use the futures to trade against the spiders. And this algo optimizer will give you those buy and sell settings. And in addition, you can turn on or off whether or not we are doing stops and what the intended profit objective is. And once again, when you take a look at the crude oil, you'll see that well, currently it is long. Here's the stop level. Here's the first profit target and a trailing stop feature, and you can, it has different levels so that you can kind of get a gauge as to if this thing broke out to the upside, where would it be taking profits and where would it be trailing the stop. And as you can see, a couple of the nomenclatures, there's a trailing stop. So once a market breaks out and goes, it just doesn't wait to get to the main profit target. A trailing stop function will kick in. So, or it will reverse on a new signal. And that's what it's designed for. Get me in, protect the profit, trail, and then exit maybe half the position. And that's something that you, as the user, can optimize. I hope you found this video both educational and instructional, and give you a little bit more insights about what the person's optimizer algo program is about. Thank you all.